Hello and welcome to the musical theatre section of Dart's Listening Challenges. So anyone who's already aware of this musical might have already guessed it from my hairdo today. But we're going to be looking at the song Six from the musical Six. Now this musical is going to be really good for people who've already done the Tudors at school. So if I say to you, divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yes, so I'm talking about King Henry VIII and his 6 wives. So the idea of this musical is, yes, we know about Henry VIII. Yes, we know that he had 6 wives, but do we know anything about the wives? Not really, no. So this musical is all about learning more about those 6 women. So the story of this musical is that all 6 wives get together and they decide that they want to form a pop band. Now, I know that sounds a bit crazy, but trust me, it's amazing, bear with me. They decide that the way that they're going to choose who's going to be the leader of their band is who has had the most terrible time with Henry. So Catherine of Aragon goes first and she says, look, I was with Henry for a really long time. And then all of a sudden he decided that he wanted to get divorced. Now divorce wasn't even a thing back then. He created it so that he could leave Catherine of Aragon. Next up it was Anne Boleyn. She said, look, he chopped my head off. I've had it the worst. Next comes Jane Seymour. Now Jane Seymour says, I really loved Henry and I was actually the only wife that Henry truly loved. And all the other wives say, well, that's a little bit rude. And I died, so I had it the worst. Next up was Anne of Cleves, and she said, okay, you guys think you've had it bad. Henry received a picture of me and said, oh my goodness, this woman is beautiful. This is the woman that I want to marry and be my queen. And then when I came over to England, he said that I was too ugly and didn't want to marry me. Rude. Catherine Howard says, okay, whatever, you were rejected from a picture. I also got my head chopped off. Last up was Catherine Parr. So Catherine Parr said, I was in love with somebody, really in love with somebody, and wanted to spend the rest of my life with him. And then Henry appeared and said, no, she's going to be the next queen, and I had to go and do it. In the end, what they decide is that they should all be friends and join this wonderful pop group together. So the song that we're going to be looking at is called Six. So this song comes right at the very end of the musical, and it's the 6 wives imagining what would have happened if things have played out differently between them and Henry. So I want you to have a little listen to this song and see if you can decide which one is which wife. So to set you off, the first wife to sing is Catherine of Aragon, and she says, he got down on one knee, but I said no way, packed my bags and moved into a nunnery. Joined the gospel choir, our riffs were on fire, at the top of the charts is where I'm gonna stay. 2 things to look out for in this. Number 1, one of the wives talks about writing lyrics for Shakespeare P. Who do you think they could be talking about there? Who was writing plays at that time, around in the Tudor times? Shakespeare P. Who could that be? Another one of the wives talks about her and her children being the Tudor Von Trapps. Now, can you remember that family from any of the other musical theatre videos? Who could they be talking about there? So a little extra challenge. So as well as including the video for Six, the song from Six, the musical, I've also included the trailer for the musical. So in the trailer, you're going to see some of the amazing costumes for Six. And I'd like you to try and pinpoint some of the features from the costume that are taken from real Tudor clothes. So are there any bits that one of the queens is wearing that you think is from Tudor times, but with a modern twist? Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon.